Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Plans, She Budgets. In today's video, we'll be closing out my budget for the month of June, so let's get started. Alright you guys, just to give you a quick update, I know I posted in my community that I did hurt my back during a dance class, and I do want to report that my back has recovered, but unfortunately, shortly after I recovered, I did fall in the tub, you guys. OMG. I guess I was a little too oiled up and, moved a little too quickly because I went straight down, just dropped. I banged my knee, my left hip, my right elbow, and like the middle of my head, like the right in the middle of the portion that connects from your head to your to your neck. So I hurt myself pretty bad. I was banged up for over a week and I was just resting, taking it easy, trying to walk again and, limping around here and there. But I am happy to report that I didn't break anything, tear, or what have you. I just really hurt myself. Well, mainly my knee. Everything else has basically, the pain in those areas had gone away. As far as my head, my elbow, and my hip, is just my knee that's kind of still taking time to heal as of today, which is July 1st. So happy July, everyone. So that's why I kind of took a break from posting, just because I've been pretty hurt and I have to move extremely slow, blah 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 blah. But right now I'm back. I just want to do a quick recap of June, and then we're just going to go ahead and move on into July in my next video. All right, so as you guys can see, I did have several no spend days. I believe I'm ending the month with a total of 14. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. All right, yes, so I am ending the month with 14 no spend days, which is pretty awesome. Also, just to quickly mention, this budget kit is from Erica Life Vlogs, and I do have her shop link down below if anyone is interested in her future kits. And then also the budget scripts, like the no spends, and the bill scripts like rent, phone bill, renter's insurance. Those stickers are from Romina Rosa, and her shop is linked down below as well. All right, so looking off to the side here, these are the various colors I use for each category for my cash envelopes. And then as you guys can see, I did various spending throughout the month. We also see that bills were paid, which is awesome to be able to afford your bills, especially in this current climate with inflation and whatnot. I did go ahead and cancel my Spectrum Mobile, so June is the last time you guys will see this bill for $14. I did decide to stay with T-Mobile, even though it's much higher. I just never switched to SIM card because I had it for over a month, and I figured maybe I just don't want to switch because I've been with T-Mobile since I was a teenager or maybe young adult, and I just decided I didn't want to switch anymore. So I'm sticking with T-Mobile, and Spectrum Mobile is canceled. My electricity bill came out. That was $78.91, which put me under budget for that bill. That's awesome. And then yeah, everything else is pretty much standard. Bought groceries, bought gas, did some spending, ate out of course, and I did have one unbudgeted expense for $72.93. That was technically eating out because it was for Chinese food, but I just marked it as an unbudgeted, so it was like, whatever. All right, so that is the overview of June. On the next page here is where I keep my expense log. So every transaction per my cash envelopes, I keep track here. So I keep track of the day, the category, the description, how much I spent, and I also keep track of whether or not I swiped my credit card. I do swipe my credit card here and there just to rack up points for cash back, and I do like to trade my points in for rewards. They allow you to, it's through my bank, they allow you to do direct deposits, gift cards, or apply a credit to your credit card statement. And I normally just pick the direct deposit rewards just because it's nice to just have some money just randomly and you can treat yourself to something, you know, blah 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 blah. I normally don't track that as income or anything because again, I just use it to treat myself, my boyfriend, to something, and it's just like a, you know, a reward. So I do, that's what the CC means, credit card. So I track if I swipe my credit card, and then I just check it off once I make the transfer from the appropriate category, and that's how I'm able to avoid interest on that credit card. So the total I spent out of my cash envelopes was $1,518.30. So that's pretty good. But the one catch is this doesn't include my boyfriend's spending. I don't track his spending because, you know, that's just too much for me. So I just track my personal spending. So when I do my final number in the monthly budget view, it will be $200 more. All right, so here is the weekly check-in page. I did do a week 1 check-in video with you all. And then after that, I missed week 2 and 3, well, and 4. And that's partially due to my fall. My back happened in week 3. My fall happened in week 4. Was it on the 20? It was early in week 4, so that's why these 2 videos weren't made. I did have the idea of combining weeks 2 and 3, so that's why week 2 didn't happen either, because yeah. So I just kept track of it myself. So as you guys can see, these are the different amounts that were spent. How I like to budget, I do just budget like once a month. So the amounts that I add into my cash envelope categories, I just transfer them at the beginning of the month, and then I don't do anything else for the rest of the week. If I ever feel the need to make an adjustments, I will, and that will be shown here. But normally I just do it in the beginning of the month and then just try to make everything last. We can see in week 3, I did run out of gas money. So when we did this fill up, it was 7 cents over, which isn't nothing to be too upset over. But this did show me that I do need to budget a little bit more money for July for gasoline, because as you can see, I didn't have any money for week 4. Luckily, I ended up not needing any additional gas money in week 4, and that's mainly because I did hurt myself, so my traveling was non-existent. I didn't go anywhere. And I'm still not really going anywhere. My boyfriend mostly, he'll just go to the grocery store himself, get gas if needed, which only happened in week 3. That's because I mainly was just traveling to and from dance class. My boyfriend does still go to his kickboxing, but like I mentioned, since I wasn't going to my dance classes, we didn't spend as much gasoline, so week 4 didn't need anything, luckily. So yeah. So in week 4, you can see I started using some more red ink. So gas was over by 7 cents. Groceries was over by $14.74. Spending was not over. I just spent everything. Eating out was over by 56 cents, and then unbudgeted was $72.93. You can kind of count these two as the same since it technically was for food eating out, but I just separated it as such. So down here I have my totals for each category. So yeah, so these are the totals: 130.07 for gas, 814 for groceries, and so forth. So we're going to take these numbers and plug them into here for the cash envelope section. The only difference will be I'll be adding $200 in spending, because again, I don't track my boyfriend's spending, so I need to add $200 there. All right, so let's take a closer look at this page. All right, so for bills and expenses, or real quick, wanted to mention that you guys know I'm currently using savings, and I just do a transfer once a month, typically on or around the 1st. And so far I budgeted $4,870, and right now we're going to input the actual numbers to see if I came under, broke even, or over that expected amount. So for bills and expenses, rent was the same at $2,015. Renter's insurance came in at $9.58. Internet for June was $75.38. Dance membership was the same, $89. Kickboxing membership was the same at $85. Spectrum Mobile was $14, and again, this will be removed for July. Subscriptions was a little under, it was $98, and that's because I overestimated for Epidemic Sound. I budgeted 20, but it actually was 15, so that was nice. Sprint, we budget $93. And we just do it like that. This comes out of my boyfriend's account. I don't really keep track of the change. Similarly with the other subscriptions, that's why I just always have it marked as an even number, because you know, like for example, Netflix is not 17 exactly, it's 16 and change, and I just don't feel like tracking the change because all of those bills come out of my boyfriend's account, so I don't feel like bothering him over the cents. And then electricity came in, like we mentioned earlier, at $78.91, so that was awesome. So the total for this section is $20.15 plus $9.58 plus $75.38 plus $89 plus $85 plus $14 plus $98 plus $93 and plus $78.91. All right, so this section I was under for the month at $2,557.87. All right, so we're gonna take the numbers from the previous page. So gasoline came in at $1.30.07. Groceries was at $8.14.74. Spending was the same at $400 even. Eating out was $300.56, and then unbudgeted was $72.93. All right, so for that total, that's $130.07 plus $814.74 plus $400 plus $356 plus $72.93. So that total was $1,718.30. So it was over in this section. So I was over by $88.30. So obviously the budgeted didn't help. I did also decide to budget a little differently in July, and I'll explain more in my next video. So eating out is going to be budgeted differently, and again, I'll explain that more in the next video. So moving on to my miscellaneous section, for sinking funds, I always budget out $260, and that's exactly what I added in that category, $260. PSE&G, that was in regards to my house that I recently sold back in New Jersey. I budgeted out $300, and this was, let me double check, that came out to be $281.08. That was the gas and electric bill there. And like I mentioned, I did recently sell that house, so that is the last expense associated with that house. So going forward, all bills and expenses will be for my new apartment. So again, that was $281.08. And then T-Mobile, this was $94.19. All right, so for this section, that's $260 plus $281.08 plus the $94.19. So that was a total of $635.27. Okay, so now for the budget breakdown, moving everything down. So for bills and expenses, the actual was $25.57.87. Cash envelopes came in at $17.18 with 30 cents, and miscellaneous was $6.35 with 27 cents. And I just realized I was under in that category as well, so that's awesome. All right, so the $6.35.27 plus the $17.18 and 30 cents plus the $25.57.87. So my total spent for the month was $4,900 $11.44, and I'm going to carry that at the top. Again, $4,911.44. Okay, so, and that will give me a zero-based budget because every dollar was accounted for. So the overage for the month, so minus the $48.70. So for the month, looks like I was over by $41.44. All right, not as bad as I was expecting since I was so much over here, but I think being under in bills and expenses and miscellaneous helped. So that's good. All right, so $41.44. I was over, and I think I'm going to start just marking that like this. So 41.44. I was over for the month. Write that as a plus, actually. Okay, so that is how the monthly budget is looking. So lastly, just to close out this video, I just want to touch on sinking funds. Normally I put up a separate video for this, but I didn't do that for June. As you guys know, you know, just things happened in the month, so I had to just do what I had to do. So for sinking funds, basically how I close this out is I go through all of my transactions in this transaction log, and I just add up everything I spent in that each category, mark it here in red just so it's easily seen, and then I calculate the ending balance. So for my sinking funds, I started off with $1,781.25 in the beginning of June, and right now I have 9 categories. For the month, I added in $260, and then the total spent this month was $487.32. And then after calculating my ending balances, I am left with $1,553.93, which will be rolled over into July. So a couple of transactions that stuck out was my water bill. I do pay my water bill out of my sinking funds, and I think once this runs out, this balance, I'll probably just start accounting for it as a regular monthly bill, because I have noticed that here in Texas they do charge the water bill monthly, whereas in New Jersey it was quarterly. And because of that, that's why I created the sinking fund in the first place, because it was due quarterly. But now that it's due monthly, I'm starting to think that maybe it's just easier to budget it out on a monthly basis instead of just, you know, paying it through the sinking funds. All right, and then another expense that was for this month was my car insurance that was due. I paid a total of $286.12, and that was for 6 months. I did notice too on the statement, the 6 months is from April to October, because normally I was paying between June and December, but the next time I would need to pay my car insurance is October, because they went from April through October for the 6 months, since that's technically when I switched after I moved. All right, and then the other sinking funds was self-care, pets, home projects, and miscellaneous, and those are the normal categories I use on a monthly basis, so nothing major there. All right, and that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to flip back to the beginning, and yeah, that's pretty much everything. So overall, June was pretty good, minus my little mishaps, but I am doing a whole lot better, just taking it easy on my knee. So wish me well so I can get back to dance class, because it's been kind of boring not being able to go out and socialize and, you know, move around easily. But slowly but surely I am getting better. All right, so that is everything for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.